At UFC 265, Derrick Lewis is fighting Ciryl Gane for an interim heavyweight belt. Why? Now, I get that Derrick Lewis is getting a title shot, and Ciryl Gane has made claim with his 9th win, but against Alexander Volkov. What a flipping rise he's got. You know, Ciryl Gane was amazing against Volkov. Absolute technical masterclass. I had him winning every round. I don't know how other people scored it. Some people had it 2-2 into the 5th for somehow. I don't know how they scored that for Volkov. I had every round going to Ciryl. I thought it was really impressive how he just neutralised the height and the reach. He's up for a title eliminator, I grant you, but Derrick Lewis is first. And he was meant to fight Francis. Now, why isn't he? Now, the reason, Francis wants 6 months preparation for Derrick Lewis, which I'm not against. Obviously, it's 6 months from when he last fought, according to sources. Now, his manager has been having an absolute war with words online, especially on, I think mainly on Twitter, with Dana White. And Dana again is coming out as the bad guy, but we don't know the full story. We're getting a manager's perception of an individual fighter, and that fighter's sole perspective on, you know, number one, he's looking after himself. This is his opinion, this is his views, and the management is now translating that and hating on Dana White on social media for it. And Dana White is saying, I'm not having it. It's up to you who. It's not really for sides, but I think Dana gets a lot of hate. He's just trying to make money for the business and keep fights going and make people happy. I disagree with an interim belt. I think a lot of people do. I wouldn't be surprised if they cancelled the interim belt just out of backlash. But if it's Dana White, probably not. Derrick Lewis is on a 4-fight win streak as well. Let's not forget that. You know, his last fight, absolutely smashing Curtis Blades with that uppercut. Beautiful shot. So this is now a video about Ciryl Gane versus Derrick Lewis and who wins and why. So Derrick Lewis, we all know what Derrick Lewis does. Kicks you in the balls to get a break. No, I'm joking. Cue Joe Rogan's podcast now. So we all know what Derrick Lewis does. Derrick Lewis statically switch kicks from now on. He loves a kick. That's what Derrick Lewis loves. Now, we all know what Derrick Lewis likes. He likes to back off and load that power punch. He waits for that one shot to kill you, to execute you, to knock you out cold in one shot. Most heavyweights would not want to face Derrick Lewis for this one reason. You can dominate him for 14 minutes and 59 seconds, and in that last second, as per 10 seconds against Volkov, lights out. Volkov was dominating Derrick Lewis, absolutely smashing him to bits. Derrick Lewis had to play possum a couple times to even tag him. Derrick has used it in his last 2 fights against Curtis and against Alexei Oleinik, and you think in that first round against Oleinik, he had him in a judo head and arm on the floor, and Derrick was saying post-fight, that was tight and I didn't know what to do. I was about to tap just because I didn't know what to do. They stopped it, got back up. Obviously, the rest is history. Ciryl Gane, on the other hand, coming off an impressive resume right now. He has not had many fights at all in his career, let alone in the UFC. One of the fewest to get a title shot with the amount of wins. I think he's like 5th or 6th on the list with 9. I think you've got like 8 there with Cain Velasquez. But this is from an era where the roster on the UFC was not large. I think number 1 was Brock Lesnar and Randy Couture with like 3 fights on their record, and they got their belt. But Ciryl Gane is the evolution of fighters and the amount of people on the UFC roster. This is insane. To have this little fights in your career and be up for a title fight. Last 4 include Tanner Boser, JDS, Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and now Volkov. He is a monster. He is awesome. He is seriously skilled as well. He's not just a classic heavyweight one-punch knock you out Derrick Lewis style, Francis Ngannou style. He's not this. He is an athlete, he's a skilled striker, and he will go to the decision. He's got a wicked gas tank on him as well, and he shows that he can handle against small opposition, grapplers, and rangy, lengthy, the height of Volkov and the reach of Volkov, I thought was going to pose a real problem. Nah, not to Ciryl, not to the Frenchman. So it's sad that Francis isn't going to be fighting Derrick Lewis, but as long as Derrick Lewis does get to fight him, and soon, I don't like the interim belt. What do you guys think of an interim belt? I really don't like it. It's too soon. He isn't not fighting. He just needs a little more time to prepare. There's nothing wrong with that. We've seen fighters go on for a couple of years without an interim belt included. But this is just silly now. I do agree with Dana in the fact that back off management, you take it too far with your personal fighters. I demand this, I demand that. cool off a second. Francis is a superstar. He deserves to have that time to prepare for Derrick, especially as their last fight was, you know, never watch again. Possibly the worst fight in UFC I've ever seen. Who do you guys see taking this one? I'm going to put my chips, and I'm going to put it on Derrick Lewis. I think Derrick Lewis is going to hand Ciryl Gane his first L. I think Ciryl has been caught a couple times. His chin has not been tested. Derrick will test that chin. If it goes past a couple rounds, I really can see Cyryl's game plan is putting the pressure on Derrick, wear that gas tank out, because Derrick does gas and fatigue regularly. Ciryl has the gas tank to go 25 minutes pretty convincingly at the same pace. Not the highest pace, not a Diaz pace, but a very steady pace. Especially for a heavyweight, my God. He's got serious conditioning. Let us know in the comments, guys, who you think is going to win. Good to be back with the video. Finally getting a bit of time. Might see some more. Hit us up, guys. Leave a comment down below. Like the video if you have enjoyed it. And subscribe to the channel, guys. Doing nice with the subscribers lately. Let's keep them up. See you guys. Cheers.